Let's get into some things of the things, child. We got some stuff to talk about today, honey. We got some stuff to talk about. Hit that like button if you are new here. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We have a great time over here. You meant what you said when you said it. Really be as bad, because I don't be understanding y'all sometimes. And when y'all know when I say y'all, you know I ain't talking about y'all. You don't talk y'all. Fix me that all these people that got something to say have been actively involved in the political process in their world. I don't believe it. You ain't gonna convince me. I know y'all love me. What's up? Happy Saturday, everybody. Happy Saturday. I hope everybody had a great Saturday. Enjoyed your weekend, doing whatever it is that you did, what you wanted to do, got into. Yes, Marcus coming from Richmond, Virginia. I know Broad Street. I only know the Broad Street exit when I'm driving through Richmond. I don't know nothing about Richmond. Hey, y'all. Come on in. We are on both channels. So I'm not sure where you are subscribed, but we are on the ReallyBTV channel and we are on the ReallyBTV Reviews channel as well. So welcome everybody who is here. So two quick announcements. You can get your Avon products. Click the shopping bag at the bottom of the screen and go on and get your skin so soft. If you're going to be outdoors. I was outside last night, honey. It came in handy, okay? Black Girl Vitamins. Again, the link is in the description box. I mean, it's pinned to the top of the link. You get your Black Girl Vitamins. You have 20% off of your first order. And again, for those of you who reached out to me because you were worried about the sugar intake, they do have a sugar-free option on most of their vitamins now. So you can try the sugar-free and see how you like it, okay? And get 20% off your first order using my link, my discount code, okay? All right. So listen, y'all, we got a little TV talk today. That's why I'm on both channels, because I was like, I didn't really feel like, doing... Anyway, I just said we were going both channels, right? So a couple of things have gone on. First of all, we got the first 10 minutes of the last part of the reunion, which is going to pick up with Shamea and Porsha's argument. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Kenya dropped a video or went live on her YouTube channel today, and she dropped some information. So we're going to talk about that. And then we are going to discuss this Tyler Perry, China McClain situation, which is some new stuff. So let's get the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get that out the way. I do have a goal set. If we hit our goal, then I will open up the panel tomorrow after the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. I will open up the panel for a little while tomorrow. Okay. Now, let me say this to y'all. I very seldom come down here and say four little words. I very seldom do that. But only when y'all give me such a hard time about stuff, I want y'all to say it with me. I told you so. When I came down here last June, not the June that just passed, but June of 2024. June of 2024. I came down here and I told y'all what went down with Kenya down at that salon. And I told y'all Kenya was fired. And what did y'all tell me? She not fired. Kenya said she not fired. Kenya said she wasn't fired. She ain't fired. Kenya is not fired. And then when we found out she wasn't filming for the rest of the season, what did y'all tell me? That doesn't mean she fired. That doesn't mean that she fired. That just means she can't film this season. That don't mean she fired. And what did I tell y'all then? I said, if I show up on my job and I'm not allowed to enter the building, I'm fired. Now y'all can slice that peach however y'all want to slice that peach. But when Kenya was not allowed to film and the ladies were not allowed to invite Kenya to events, I don't care how y'all slice it, she was fired. And then y'all were like, well, she could probably come back for season 17. I told y'all she wasn't. Now, y'all didn't have to believe me. And what I kept telling y'all ain't got to believe me. Y'all ain't got to believe me. I kept telling y'all ain't got to believe me. And I could have been wrong because my information might not have been right. You know what I'm saying? But I told y'all Kenya was fired. And I told y'all Kenya wasn't coming back season 17. Even after that information about Britt now saying that that's not her in those pictures, what I tell y'all? Well, y'all were like, well, then if that's not Britt, then she could sue Bravo. And why she come to the reunion? If those aren't Britt in those pictures, yada 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 yada, Buddha 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 Buddha, yitty 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 yitty. Catherine says, I mean, she's on suspension. LOL. That's technically not fired. LOL. But she also said it's not definite and things can change for season 17. Kenya's fired. Now, can things change? Absolutely, things can change. Absolutely, things can change. Can't a job rehire you after they fired you? Can't a job rehire you after you've been fired? Okay. That doesn't mean you weren't fired. That means you got your job back. We see housewives get rehired all the time. That doesn't mean they weren't fired. That doesn't, just because Child Data Boy Brandy Glanville back 20,000 times, that still don't mean she wasn't. Okay. So anyway, I ain't gonna sit here and keep arguing with y'all. Kenya told y'all today she wasn't coming back for season 17. She said, well, nothing is definite and things could change. Yes. Hell, Phaedra wasn't hired at the beginning of season 16. Kenya is not on pause. Kenya is fired. Will y'all stop saying that on pause shit? She's fired. Why do y'all want to play semantics? She's fired. What does on pause mean? Give me, what does that mean? Please tell me what on pause means. Tell me what that means. What does that mean on pause? Can your job put you on pause? What that mean? And somebody said, well, she got paid for the rest of the season. It depends on what her contract said. I don't know her contract. I don't know what her contract said. I don't know what the language in her contract says. So I can't say what Kenya did or did not get paid for. I can't speak to that. What I do know is Kenya's been there long enough that her contract setup is probably a little different than the average. You know, she's been able to negotiate some things, right? So what we do know is that generally speaking, you get paid when you get paid if you're in the episode, which is why the ladies show up for different events. We know that you get paid if you have a group scene and everybody comes to the group scene. Bravo will the production company will reimburse you for your expense, which is why they always invite everybody unless it's just some real serious beef. But that's when I say always, generally they invite everybody. You know what I'm saying? So we know that there's certain things. So I'm not going to say what Kenya did or didn't get paid for season 16 because I honestly don't know. I don't know her contract and I don't know what her payout was. But again, and listen, whatever help y'all sleep at night, whatever help y'all feel better. Somebody said Dorinda says she's on pause. Dorinda was fired. Now again, can Bravo call her and she come back? Sure. Y'all know that's the term that Bravo uses, right? They say the same thing about a show. They say, oh, we put a show on pause. They never say canceled. Bravo does not use the language cancel. It's on pause. Martha's Vineyard is on pause. Summer House Martha's Vineyard is on pause. The Real Housewives of Dallas is on pause. What's the show? Southern Charm New Orleans is on pause. So if it helped y'all to say that Kenya's on pause, okay, go with that. Y'all go with that. Y'all go with that. Whatever help y'all sleep at night. Anyway, moving right along. So Kenya said that she will, as of today, and again, things can change because they brought Phaedra back. And let's be clear, Bravo is the employer. They reserve the right to change their mind and do things they didn't do before. Phaedra is probably one of the few, maybe only, but definitely one of the few Bravo stars. What's up, Pam? Hey, girl. Pam, girl, you know I need to talk to you. What up, Brother Dad? How you doing? Pam, you know I need to talk to you, girl. Thank you for the super sticker. Mwah! Thank you, my love. Thank you, boo. Phaedra is probably one of the only Bravo, not just Real Housewives. She's probably one of the only Bravo stars that did not show up for a reunion and got a job back. Now, she didn't get that job back. She was not coming back to Married to Medicine, but she got her job back on Real Housewives of Atlanta. And that, I don't know if that's ever happened, especially with that quick of a turnaround. I don't know if that's ever happened. So Bravo definitely reserves the right to change their mind. We know that. But, again, so Kenya says she ain't coming back, okay, as of today. And again, we know that can change, okay? They reserve the right to change their mind, okay? Right, they brought back Mary Crosby too. But I'm saying with the quickness, with the turnaround. But yeah, Mary Crosby, and I think there was somebody else that didn't go to the reunion that was able to come back. Now, we know that, what's my girl? Lisa Vanderpump, she quit the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and she didn't show up for the reunion, but she still had her spinoff. But the spinoff was already a thing. Like, it was already a thing. Okay. Yeah. Y'all playing semantics with Kenya being on pause. Right, but that's Sierra, fans are gonna be fans, child. Fans are gonna be let them fans live in the world that they in. It's all good. It's all good. Y'all know how the fans are. It's all good. Now, Kenya also said today, oh, damn it. Sorry, y'all. I just dropped the top to my water bottle. I didn't get a chance to shake it up yet. And it rolled under the couch. I gotta remember to get it when I get off of here. Get it from under the couch. Hey, can't wait to hear how you feel about K. Michelle. See, Big Ant, we about to talk about that now. Dang, y'all are so fast. Y'all don't be letting me cook. Y'all just be jumping right in. But that's okay. Thank you for the super chat, boo. We about to talk about that right now. Damn it. All the flavors at the bottom. I gotta get the top. It rolled right under the couch, too. Anyway, thank you for the super chat, boo. So, Kenya also said that there were going to be they were bringing 2 new housewives back for season 17. She said one is a former Love and Hip Hop star, and one is a business owner. Now, I don't know where the name K. Michelle and Pinky Cole came from, because now I'm being honest, I didn't watch all of Kenya's live. If I'm being honest, I saw clips, so I'm being honest. I don't know. I don't think Kenya actually said their names. Did Kenya say their names? Or is this the internet talking? Is this the internet talking about K. Michelle and Pinky Cole? Or did Kenya say K. Michelle and Pinky Cole? Yeah, I didn't think she said their names. I think that's kind of what Pinky's old news. But I heard that rumor, but I thought Pinky said it wasn't true. I thought she said it wasn't true. I do remember that being a rumor, though. I do remember that being a rumor. But I heard her say it wasn't true. But the neighborhood talk. Okay. Well, let me say this. I'm not going to say it's not true, because I don't know, right? I don't know. She just said a restaurateur and someone from Love and Hip Hop. So for Kenya, not Kenya, Lord, K Michelle. Baby, K Michelle is good TV. We're just gonna call a thing a thing. K Michelle is good TV. And K Michelle is a vet when it comes to this. She's a vet. She definitely has skin in this game. She knows how to do it. You know what I mean? She knows how to do this. I think, Captain says she all right. Now, I think she's good TV. She's definitely good TV. Do I think she will fit in with Real Housewives of Atlanta? This goes back to something I've been complaining about. This goes back to something I've been complaining about all season when it comes to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I think she will fit in with the current cast of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Do I think she would have fit in 5 years ago? Oh, you know, Scotty done already posted. Go to his community wall. Scotty done already posted on his community wall, lovely soul. You know how Scotty feel about his K Michelle now. Yeah, this current version of Real Housewives of Atlanta, the ones that like to twerk and get drunk and you know, talk about dick and you know, yeah, she'll fit in with them. And, you know, she lived in Atlanta for many, many years, or maybe she still does live in Atlanta. I know at one point she moved back. I know at one point she moved to Nashville when she was taking her country career seriously. So she definitely has history. I'm sure she's moved in the circles with these ladies. She has history with these ladies. So I think she'll fit in. I really do. I do not think she's going to get along with Porsha. I do not think she's going to get along with Porsha. That's my opinion. I don't know nothing about. They might be friends in real life. I don't know nothing about them. They might be friends in real life, but I just feel like personality-wise, I could see them clashing. But yeah. Yeah, exactly, Don. She's a good fit for this group of girls. Again, like I said, 5 years ago, do I think she would have fit in with the Nenes and the Eva Marcells and the Cynthia Baileys when she was main cast and the Sherrays and the Kim Zolciaks and the Candies? Don't know. What up, Nay? Why not? Do you think they'll fight for HBIC? Absolutely, I think they will. Absolutely. Especially coming off of this reunion, Porsha is absolutely going into next season as HBIC. Absolutely. And the thing, and this goes back to what I was saying, and tell Benji I said hi. But this goes back to what I was saying about Kenya. I mean, excuse me, Lord, not Kenya. About K Michelle understanding how the game is played. K Michelle is going to go after the HBIC because she understands how to play this game. She understands how to play this game. So she's either going to try to be friends with Porsha if they don't already have an existing relationship. I don't know who K Michelle's cool with in real life. But if they don't already have a relationship, either she's going to try to be friends with Porsha or she's going to clash with Porsha. Kind of like what Kelly attempted to do this season, but wasn't really successful with it, with coming for Porsha. K Michelle is going to be, in my opinion, a little more stealth about it. In my opinion. Now, the other rumored person is Pinky Cole. Now, let's be fair. Let's be honest. Let's call a thing a thing. We know that Pinky Cole has run into some bumps this last year. So she definitely has a story to tell. You know, she's married, recently married. She lost her business. I think she's buying it back, or she has bought it back. She still has a rocky road. They just voted to take Slutty Vegan off of the campus of Spelman, which is her alma mater. So she definitely has roots in Atlanta. She went to Spelman. Her and K Michelle are actually sorors. They're both Deltas. Now we know that don't mean nothing because we've seen the D9 not get along on these shows. So you know, Giselle and Wendy being a perfect example of you know, sorors not getting along. So just because they're both Deltas doesn't mean it's going to be an automatic link. but definitely, there's definitely, she has a story to tell. She definitely has a story to tell. So, and one thing, I mean, and speaking on D9, the one thing that K Michelle said, she said she would, you know, if y'all notice, K Michelle never wore paraphernalia. She never spoke on being a Delta or anything like that when she was on Love and Hip Hop, because she was like, I know I'm acting a fool. She was like, I would never do this in my letters. I would never represent Delta this way. So you, just because she is a Delta, you may or may not see a lot of that. Unlike Wendy and Giselle and Robin, who have worn paraphernalia and that kind of thing, and they have spoken on being, you know, both being in the sorority and stuff like that. You may or may not get that. You know what I'm saying? You may or may not get that. So don't know, but it's there. But the connection is definitely there. The connection is definitely there. Yeah, I don't know if Pinky Cole would do it, but you just never know what people will and won't do. I mean, hell, Kim Fields did Real Housewives. You know what I mean? You don't know what's going on behind closed doors. You don't know why people make the decisions they make, and you don't know what she's being offered to do it. Yeah, Robin's a Delta. Robin's a Delta. She's worn paraphernalia on the show before. She pledged at the University of Maryland College Park. She pledged undergrad at University of Maryland College Park. So, yeah, you don't know. You just don't know. Slutty Vegan is a real place. I thought that was a name that Miss Pat called Ashley's ex-girlfriend. No, Slutty Vegan is absolutely. They used to have locations all over the place. Food trucks, they had, you know, until she lost her business. And I don't know the whole story behind that. And maybe that's a story she'll tell. If she's on the show, maybe that's a story we'll tell. You know. Right, Don. We don't know. We don't know. Hey, Princess, what's up? Who's Pinky? Pinky Cole. Yeah, Google Pinky Cole. Y'all have seen her. You might not know you've seen her, but you've seen her. She's the owner, or was the owner, of Slutty Vegan. I think she bought it back, though. I believe she bought, if nothing else, she bought her name, the name of her company back. But I really think she bought her company back. She lost it. And I think she lost it, again, I don't know all of the details, but I think she lost it more so due to being a novice and just not understanding the business than anything else. I really do. I think she lost it being naive and not crossing all of her T's and dotting all of her I's. Yeah, right. Sweet Pea said she bought it. Yeah, I thought she had bought it back. So yeah, so she has a story to tell. I definitely will look forward to it because, again, Pinky Cole is somebody new. We don't know. Again, I think she has a story to tell. She's a newlywed. She just recently had a baby. She's gone through, I mean, I think within the last 2 years, she's had a baby. She's gotten married within the last 2 years. And again, just the turmoil of everything with her business. I definitely think, okay, she bought it back. She just opened 2 new restaurants in Baltimore. Thank you, Miss Toby. Hey, Toby. Hey, boo. Yeah, I thought she did. I honestly, I thought she had bought her name back. So, okay. So that's the other information we got today. She wrote a book about the whole situation. Oh, I need to go read her book, y'all. I didn't know she wrote a book about it. I knew she had done like an interview or two, but I didn't know. She told Nene she's gotten her company back. Okay. Did she interview with Nene? I feel like she was on Nene's show. Was she on Nene's show? I feel like she was. I feel like she was on Nene's show. All right, you guys. So listen, let's get into this sneak peek. Now, y'all know I'm getting ready to play. Oh, but I'm going to go look at it then. I'm getting ready to play the sneak peek of tomorrow night's episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta Part 3 of the reunion. This is Bravo, so even though I'm playing the audio, I'm still going to pause it and give commentary because it's Bravo and I don't want them to flag this video, okay? Okay, so we're going to listen to the sneak peek of tomorrow night, Porsha and Shamea, child. The Porsha. Why?
I'm curious if anyone wants to set any intentions today.
I just want to step to the plate with each lady.
Sorry, wrong clip.
Why would you say you would?
Wrong clip. Sorry. Damn it. Oh, there it is. This is Porsha and Shamea speaking on what sparked the feud between her and her mom. Again, we're going to get this tomorrow night, but let's talk a little bit about it today. Okay.
Because you're lying.
And you don't think
you've been lying too?
And
about what? What have I lied
you
about?
posted about my mom saying she did something egregious to your mom.
She absolutely
First of all,
did.
why are you
And
even
you know she
bringing up
did.
my mom?
What did she
Girl,
do?
I've never. And
You
anytime people
told-
ask me
okay,
about your
this is
mom,
what I'm not
I
gonna do.
say, that's not my business.
What happened?
My mom and her mom, they were best friends. They were both in the childcare industry, and they both, gave tips to each other back and forth. My mom, now her location was going under foreclosure, and her mom went behind my mom's back, and she bought it as soon as it went on foreclosure.
So first of all, I want to say shout out to House of Aaron, because House of Aaron reported this like 2 months ago. He told this story. We talked about it here, and then somebody came back and said, no, it wasn't about that. It was over a man. So shout out to House of Aaron, because this is the story that he absolutely told. That this was over over the business. Both of them had daycare centers. Porsha's mama was losing hers to foreclosure. Shamea's mom swooped in and bought it at the foreclosure price, allegedly. Now we're gonna listen a little bit more.
That is absolutely true. Stop. This is how my mom found out that her mom bought her best friend's business when we drove past it. And they were taking down my mom's sign, putting up her mother's sign.
They weren't talking for years prior to my
That's
mom buying that business.
absolutely not
Porsha.
true.
You
Shamea,
lying
that
right
is
now.
not
They were not
true.
talking for some other stuff that happened
Great
that I
lie.
don't want to speak on.
Another great lie. That's not true.
Why did they?
So now Shamea is alluding that there is more to the story. So maybe there's a man involved in Shamea's version of the story. Okay. Now Shamea is saying, listen, now notice she didn't deny that it happened. She just said they weren't friends at the time. She said they wasn't even speaking. That's not funny, y'all, but it's funny. She said they wasn't even speaking. She said they had been speaking for a couple of years before that about some other stuff that I don't really want to get into. So you ain't saying that your mama didn't do it. You just said that they weren't friends when your mama did it. Okay, girl. Now listen. Let's just assume for a minute. Let's walk down this yellow brick road. Let's walk down this yellow brick road. Sorry, y'all. all the flavors at the bottom of the damn water bottle. All right, let's walk down this yellow brick road. Let's assume for a minute that maybe Shamea mama and Porsha mama were friends. And let's say that Shamea mama and Porsha mama fell out over a man. I mean, we don't know, but let's just say for the sake of argument, they fell out over a man. Okay, let's just say they fell out over a man. Okay. And then, like, fast forward 2 years later, let's say Miss Diane stole Shamea mama boyfriend. Okay. I don't know what happened. I'm just making this up. Now, let's say that that's what had happened, right? And then Shamea mama found a way to get revenge and was like, oh, you're losing your business? You mean I can get it at a sale? I can get that building at a discounted rate because you're losing it anyway? You lost it to foreclosure? Okay, well, here I go. Now, I'm not saying that that's what happened. I don't know what happened to these people, okay? I don't know what happened. I don't know the story. But I do have a question. If they weren't friends, then I don't see where the beef is. If they were friends, I do understand where that could be an issue. Now, I know people in the chat are like, well, who cares? I mean, so you can't, if you lost your business, oh, well, you lost your business. But I wouldn't feel some kind of way if my friend, excuse me, I would feel some kind of way if my friend bought my business from up under me. You knew I was losing my business. Hell, if you had the money to buy the building, maybe you could have helped me save my damn business. I'm not saying anybody's obligated to do that. I'm not saying anybody is obligated to help somebody save their business. I'm just saying, if you had the money to buy the business up from under me, if we was best friends, you couldn't loan me a couple of $1,000s to pay my back taxes or my back rent or whatever the situation was happening. Now, don't get me wrong. Maybe Porsha mama is not a good businesswoman, and Shamea mama didn't want to throw good money after bad. I don't know. We don't know, because y'all already know that we're not gonna get to the bottom of that tomorrow night either, right? We're not, because it's gonna be Shamea mama word. I mean, it's gonna be Shamea word versus Porsha word, and neither one of them are gonna say anything that's gonna put their moms in a bad light, as they shouldn't. I don't think this is when Porsha had money, Claire. I don't think Porsha was in a position to help her. This wasn't recently. This didn't happen recently, y'all. This happened years ago. This wasn't like in the last. This wasn't within like the last 10 years. This was before Porsha had money, child. Now I will say this though. If Miss Diane is bitter about whatever happened between her and Shamea's mom, that would absolutely make sense as to why Porsha's mama was nasty towards talking about Shamea. I still think it was wrong. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how a friendship survives in that. Thank you, Inform, for the super chat. Inform said, "Get them mama's peaches." Okay, bring them on the show next year. Let them tell their story. Let them have a moment. Let them talk it out. Yeah. I'm gonna say this. I don't know what Shamea mama is or isn't going to do on camera, but we know Miss Diane is going to give it to us. We really know that Miss Diane will talk her talk. We know Miss Diane will talk her talk. Now, I don't know. I don't know if Shamea mama gonna come down here and say nothing. But Miss Diane, y'all know she here for the smoke. Now we know that maybe that's where Miss Diane is coming from. Maybe that's why Miss Diane felt some kind of way, honey. Anyway, child. Why are we speaking about a child? This story came from not slavery. Well, we speaking on it because, listen, y'all know how it is. They talked about it on social media, so Andy brought it up at the reunion. And since Andy brought it up at the reunion, baby, we're going to talk about it here. That's how it goes. That is the cycle of life when it comes to YouTube and bloggers. Okay, that is the cycle of life. Okay, they talked about it on the show. We're going to talk about it down here. They talked about it on social media. Andy brought it up at the reunion. I'm going to talk about it. And I'm going to talk about it again tomorrow, too. Okay. Last but not least, I'm gonna play y'all this clip and shout out to Catherine. Thank you, Catherine, for sending me this clip earlier, my love. Because y'all know I was out. I wasn't home. I was out in the streets, okay?
My cousin. Please don't you play with my cousin, because mine.
Okay, I don't know what that is. Okay, child. When you got the sound on, child, you never know what's gonna come on. Okay. All right. So Kenya also addressed Porsha being a liar and why she really fell out with Cynthia. So let's hear it, honey. Let's hear it.
Gave you the information. Also, I love you from the UK. I love you so much. That is from HARUN. Okay, that's one of the things I wanted to clear up. I did not get any information that was shared from Drew. I did not get any information that was shared from any housewife. I did not get any information shared from any friend of the housewives. That is a complete lie. So when I saw that Porsha said that on her YouTube live in teasing that a current housewife had given me the information, they did not. I actually called Porsha and I was like, Porsha, why are you saying that? She was like, no, you did. You told me you got it from Drew. I was like, first of all, I never told you that. I would never tell you that. In fact, I told the world where I got the information from. It was from an investigation. And I have never once in my life said that I got the information from any person that is known on Real Housewives of Atlanta. So it was just very bizarre. I found the whole thing to be very bizarre. And like literally she was.
Now I will say this. It doesn't make it true or false, but Kenya has not changed her story about where she got her information from. Now that don't make it true. But Kenya has always said that she hired a private investigator, and that's where the information came from. Kenya said on her YouTube channel, after Porsha first said it, that she did not get the information from Drew. And she says, I'm gonna let y'all hear this. She says that she actually talked to Porsha and told Porsha, I didn't get it from there.
Tell the truth, I never said it. If I say something about someone, I have factual information. 99.999% of the time. And for her to say that I had gotten it from Drew, I was like, where are you getting that from? Like, that is insane. And when I did speak to her personally on the phone, she was like, yeah, you did. You told me that. You told me that. I said, I think Drew has information, but she never gave me any photos or anything else that she was claiming that the photos came from Drew. And I said that publicly. And for her to double down on it at the reunion, I was like, girl, what are you doing? Like, it's just not true. But she was on the phone telling me, when I spoke to her, that it was true. The one thing about me, I'm going to tell you this right now, and I have said this on air publicly before. I have never been high. I have never been drunk a day in my life.
Now, Kenya, I beg to differ. Girl, we seen you on camera a little tipsy. Now, tipsy and drunk ain't the same thing, but girl.
I'm going to be very truthful right now. The reason first of all, she's not telling the truth about the timeline of, what are you doing?
Okay, so that is the Porsha Drew of it all. I'm going to be honest and tell you at this point, I don't believe none of them. I think all of them are telling a piece of the story to fit the narrative that they want out there. I just do. I don't believe. Porsha to me is a liar. I know Kenya's lying about stuff. Well, I should say I know. I believe Kenya's lying about stuff. And I believe that Drew be lying. Now, in this one, I think Drew's innocent. I do not think, let me just leave it at that. I don't think anybody's telling the full truth. I think they're all telling a piece of the story. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. Do I think it was Porsha's learning disability, comprehension challenges? I don't think Porsha has a learning disability or comprehension challenges. I think Porsha plays dumb blonde a lot. I don't think Porsha is a dumb blonde. I think she plays dumb blonde a lot. Okay. Now let's hear about the Cynthia of it all. Let's hear about the Cynthia of it all.
Down on it at the reunion, I was like, girl, what are you doing? Like, it's just not true. But she was on the phone telling me, when I spoke to her, that it was true. The one thing about me, I'm going to tell you this right now, and I have said this on air publicly before. I have never been high. I have never been drunk a day in my life. So I have no reason to say some stuff and then forget that I said it or who I said it to, or I don't lie about people. I have no reason. So, Cynthia, I'm going to be very truthful right now. The reason first of all, she's not telling the truth about the timeline of, well, she's mistaken. I don't want to just say she's not lying. I did reach out to and chatted with her via text messages the day after my salon event. I'm not upset with her for speaking her mind. I think she could have handled it differently, but that's not the reason I have not been speaking to her. I thought Cynthia was my writer, one of my best friends, my confidant, someone that I really loved and trusted as a sister. We have been through our ups and downs, our lefts, our rights, whatever. But at the end of the day, I thought she was someone that I would always be able to trust. That's not true. There were some private things that I told her, shared with her, and texted her that she shared with someone else. Okay, thank you. That she shared with someone else. And that really gutted me because in this world of housewives, and you meet people, you form these relationships. Some are because they're work people. They're cast members that you work with, and some they become really a part of your village. I trusted her with my daughter. I trusted her with my secrets. I trusted her with a lot of things. And trust me when I tell you this, I have kept her most private moments, her most private secrets to myself, and have never and will never disclose any private information, specifically, speaking about intimate conversations that we've had, or text messages that we've had where I'm explaining something in a very intimate way. And I know that she betrayed my trust. And I won't tell you, specifically the people, the why. I know the why. And the why was not for my best interest. It was for hers.
Now, again, I told y'all, and my opinion was Kenya, it was more to the Kenya Cynthia thing than, she just felt like Cynthia didn't have her back. And the reason why I say that is because everybody on that cast originally spoke out against Kenya. We saw their reaction. They all came running out of there. Porsha was like, I don't even want to be on camera right now. I wish I wasn't even here. Like, all of them said things that did not support Kenya. So the y'all, can y'all hear me? Let me know. Put a one in the chat, please, if y'all can hear me. Y'all, this computer must be shot. It did this same thing earlier today when I was live. This computer it must be a wrap. It must be a wrap on this computer. Let me know if y'all can hear me, please. Okay, y'all can. All right. We almost finished anyway. This thing, I don't know why it's done. I don't know. I did anyway. Let me finish up this live. Um, Have I tried Sea Cleaner? I did do a cleanse earlier today when I rebooted it and everything. I did a cleanse earlier, but I don't know what's going on with this thing. Like, it just black. Now it did something different to just now than it did earlier. Earlier, I don't know, it did something really weird earlier. Just now it just blacked out. That's all it did. It just blacked out. Um, okay. I'm gonna have to call my computer guy tomorrow and find out what's going on. Anyway, let's finish this up. Sorry about that, y'all. Let me finish it up. Um, so anyway, as far as the Kenya Portia of it all, I mean the Kenya Cynthia of it all, I always felt like it was more to it. I'm not saying that Kenya is justified more to it. I'm just saying I always felt like Kenya had it was more to it because I understand people were like, well, she thought she thought Cynthia was her real friend and da 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 yada yada yada. I honestly just felt like it was more to the story. I didn't know what more to the story. I always felt like it was more to the story. Now, she felt like Kenya's not a good friend. No, how long have you had your computer? Oh, about 5 years. It's about 5 years old. No, this isn't the MacBook. This isn't the MacBook. Um, Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. All right. Sorry. Okay. I'm gonna call my computer guy tomorrow. Anyway, time to get another one. Well, when you give me the money for another one, I'll let you know. You let me know. Anyway, so damn. Sorry, y'all. I'll fool with that when I get off here because I'm almost done. So, yeah, and I feel like Kenya wanted something from Cynthia. And again, I'm not saying Cynthia did or didn't betray Kenya's trust. Kenya said that she knows that Cynthia told things to somebody and it got back to her. You know, and there it is. Now I'm unemployed. I need to give me another one too, child. Yeah. Um, Kenya wants yes men, child. So I feel like again, I feel like Cynthia. I don't know. I feel like Kenya knows what it is. Cynthia may or may not know. You know what I mean? Cynthia may or may not. Yeah, Cynthia may or may not have the whole story. But according to Kenya, that is her issue, right? That is her issue. Okay. Um, no, it's not. I'm just trying to do two things at one time. Sorry. Yeah, Kenya wants yes men. Yeah. Yep. So anyway, with that being said, that was I think that was all the Real Housewives tea. Cynthia, Phaedra. I mean, Lord, not Phaedra. No, Phaedra. Um, Kenya. Okay. So I think that was all that is. Okay. Y'all remember what she did to Cynthia? You talking about from Ultimate Girls on Ultimate Girls Trip? Because she did Cynthia dirty on Ultimate Girls Trip. You can get another device, use a firm or Klarna like everyone else. So I'm not Marcus. I mean, thank you for that suggestion. Okay. So last but not least is this Tyler Perry China McCain situation. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar. Are y'all familiar with the Tyler Perry China McCain situation? Are y'all familiar with that? So do y'all know who China McCain is? McClain, excuse me. China McClain is an actress. She was on a couple of Disney projects. She was on House of Pain. She was in Black Lightning. Um, and she actually made some statements on social media as it relates to her relationship with Tyler Perry, right? And I'm gonna read you guys what she said. I hope it doesn't mess up. Right, they were in Daddy's Little Girls. Yeah. Okay, so let me just give a little. I don't want to. Let me give a little. No, I'm gonna say it first, and then I'm gonna give my pretext. I mean, my information. Okay. So I hope y'all can still hear me. I had to close out the screen. I hope y'all can still hear me. So China McClain said the following on her social media. She said she's talking about Tyler Perry. She said he silenced me on set. She says that she recounts being cut off mid scene, directed not to speak her truth or being her full self to the role. She said, I wasn't safe there, hinting at an environment that felt stifling, pressurized, and possibly emotionally hostile. Industry repercussions. She also mentions feeling blacklisted as Perry allegedly interfered with her opportunities after their work together concluded. Um, now, I'm going to say this. Can y'all hear me? Right. So now here comes Monique in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, child. Okay. So let me say this. I know when she was on Black Lightning, I remember her quitting Black Lightning. And I remember her reason for I remember her quitting Black Lightning because um, She basically became a born again Christian, right? And she said basically the show no longer really spoke to her Christian beliefs. And so she actually had quit the show in season 14. That was also the same season that it actually ended up getting fired. So a lot of people don't realize she had quit the show because she was still in season. I'm sorry, I said season 14, season 4. Because she was actually still in season, she was actually still on season 4, just in a limited role. So she was still on season 4, but she wasn't coming back, and she basically spoke that, you know, she said, during COVID, she had some awakenings, and she rededicated herself to God. Now, when they did the reboot of House of Pain, she was not on the first season of the reboot of House of Pain, but then she did come back after the first season, and she's been on there. I know she was on there this season because I don't watch House of Pain anymore, but I see the clips on TikTok. I do see the clips on TikTok. So I know she was on this season. Now, we also know that, just because we saw her on this season doesn't mean it was filmed recently. I mean, it is Tyler Perry. It might have been filmed 6 months ago. It might have been filmed a year ago, child. It's Tyler Perry. So we don't know. I don't know when it was actually filmed, but I do know that she is still on at least the last season of House of Pain, right? She got replaced in like the third episode and then came, hold on, back during the finale of this season. Okay, because I know I saw her on clips from this season. So anyway, oh, you talking about Black Lightning. That doesn't mean that just because she quit Black Lightning and she had a spiritual awakening, that doesn't mean that what she's saying is not true. It doesn't mean that what she's saying is invalid. So I don't want y'all to think I'm equating the two. I'm just giving you some context that she's been reevaluating a lot of things, and maybe even finding her voice, right? Maybe even finding her voice. We know that there's been a lot surrounding Tyler Perry these last couple of months that has not been good, right? That has not been a good look for Tyler Perry. And now we are seeing another actor who spoke on Tyler Perry, spoke on not feeling safe, spoke on not feeling comfortable to speak up and speak their mind as it relates to the show. And even in that, mm, saying that she felt like she had gotten blacklisted as a result of her leaving the show. Now, again, I need a timeline. And let's be clear, I'm not saying I don't believe her. I don't want nobody to be like, you got to believe Black women when they speak. I do. I believe her feelings are valid. But what I'm saying is, what is the timeline? So when you're saying you felt blacklisted, if you were on last season, even if last season was filmed last year, when and how do you feel like Tyler Perry blacklisted you? You see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying he didn't. I don't know. I'm not saying he didn't. Um, so it's interesting. It will be interesting to see if she'll speak on it more, elaborate more. We know Tyler's not going to address it because he doesn't address these. Like, he just doesn't. He's not going to address it. He doesn't address these things. Let me say this. I don't believe he'll address it. Um, but again, it's just interesting. It's just something else to add to the. I think Andre said the smoldering that's going on around Tyler Perry in his studio, right? Where are the Christian roles in Hollywood? And let's be clear too. If you Google Candy, I mean, I'll say Candy. If you Google China McCain, she has done videos on her social media, her TikTok, her Instagram, talking about the evils of Hollywood and talking about, you know, how Hollywood is a cesspool and things of that nature. So I don't know if you can blame all of that on Tyler Perry if I'm a casting director and all I can do is Google you, and literally one of the first things that pops up when you Google her name is her doing a video talking about the evils of Hollywood. I don't know if that's going to endear people to want to hire you if those are the things that you're saying on your social media. I'm not saying that they should or shouldn't. I'm not saying it's right or wrong to hire her. I'm just saying it's interesting to me That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying is interesting to me. What is deemed as a Christian role? Well, it depends on what you. It, I'm going to say that comes back to what you feel. It's for you because for her, depending on where her separation of doing her job versus Hollywood. Like part of the reason why she quit Black Lightning is because she spoke about the whole supernatural of the whole superhero thing, and she was speaking. She spoke on how that just did not fit with her religion, with her religious beliefs of the supernatural. You know what I mean? She may feel like if she may not want to play a character that kisses or has sex with someone that she's not married to. She may not want to play a character where she's cursing. She may not want to play a unwed mother. She may not want to play someone who drinks or smokes. Like it depends on what the line is for her. And I don't know what the line is for her. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of there. I mean, we're not going to act like there are people in Hollywood who don't believe in God and don't have a strong faith. But it goes back to what that line is for you, and that's in anything. That's in any job. If there's a line, there's a line for you, and where that line is for you. You know what I mean? So I don't know where she limits herself. I don't know what types of roles. Maybe Tyler asked her to do some things that she wasn't comfortable doing as far as her character is concerned. Because she did say she didn't feel comfortable in speaking about how she wanted to play that character. Well, at the end of the day, whether we agree or disagree with Tyler Perry's directing, it's his character. It's him directing, and he has a right to direct it how he wants to direct. And if he's telling her, okay, I'm gonna write you, because I believe, and again, I don't watch every episode, but I believe she had a friend on the show. I don't know if he was a boyfriend, but she did have like a friend on the show. But maybe Tyler Perry wanted them to develop a relationship. Maybe. Um, Maybe Tyler Perry wanted her because her character's in college. Maybe he wanted her to get drunk and have a situation. It could be a lot of things that maybe she wasn't comfortable with. I don't know. I don't know. It's strange because she went back to Disney, but not to Black Lightning. I don't know. It's a double-sided coins because if that's the cause, then she can't complain about potentially not getting hired later on. She can have her stance, but they can have theirs. Exactly. And that's why, and see, DB, that's why I said I need to know the timeline. Again, I'm not saying that her experience isn't her experience, right? But I also would like to know the timeline. When you say you feel like he blacklisted you, when did he blacklist you? Why did he blacklist you? Did you quit? Did you get fired? You know, Again, if you Google her name, I know when I Googled her name, one of the first things that popped up was a video that she did on her social media talking about the evils of Hollywood. Matter of fact, my computer is back up now. I'm gonna Google it right now. I'm gonna show y'all what pops up. When you Google her name, it says China McCain talks about her faith, her God, her speaks talks. Okay, China McCain talks about God and her faith. The very next thing that pops up. Now, I did put in China McCain born again Christian. So let me be fair. I did not Google just her name. I Googled born again Christian. So if I'm being fair, that might not be the first thing that pops up, but um there's a video that she did on YouTube that says Disney star. Well, there's a video on YouTube from her social media. Disney star China McCain speaks on the evils of Hollywood. Um, and then, there are other videos. So I did, to be fair, I did put in Born Again Christian. But let me see if I just put in her name. Let me just see if I just put in her name. China McCain, actress. Let me see what comes up. She did have a lot of TikTok videos with her and her sister too. I remember that from TikTok. Her and her sister. Okay. Let me see. News. If I go on the news. So everything that pops up, if you just put her name in, child, she was touching the turtles in Hawaii. Ooh, that's a no-no. So she back in March, she got a lot of flack from touching um the turtles in Hawaii, child. That's the first thing that pops up, child. Baby, if you go to Hawaii, they'll tell you not to touch them turtles. She's lucky she didn't get in trouble for real, for real. Um, she and her sisters need to do a gospel album. Portia gets so much grace. All she did was make a lot of accusations against Shamea. Let's be honest, most of these Christians production companies cater to a very specific audience. They're not interested in seeing China's black ass. Ooh. There are plenty of Christian actors and actresses in Hollywood that have great careers. That's true. That's true. What up, Chuck? Hey, boo. Kirk Cameron, Angus T. Jones, whose faith was said to have interfered with production on the show. Yeah, and Kirk Franklin, I mean, Lord, I said Kirk Franklin. Kirk Cameron definitely had some issues um once he became a born again Christian. But his sister Candace Cameron, if y'all or her with her Hallmark movies, she, of course the Hallmark movies have the whole little have the formula, the formula for the Hallmark movies. But if you notice Candace Cameron, she doesn't kiss. She'll do a fade to black where they look like they kiss and it's like a fade to black, or they'll come close to kissing, they'll snuggle and all of that. But you don't see Candace Cameron doing a lot of kissing and stuff. She doesn't play very controversial characters. She does the very cookie cutter Hallmark movies, murder mysteries on Hallmark Channel, and all of that. Like you see a lot of that, but you're not gonna see Candace Cameron doing a whole lot of that. Is there a black Christian community in Hollywood? Yeah. I mean, again, there are a lot of actors and actresses that have a strong faith. Now, where and how they let it affect their job, that's a different conversation. But believing in God, but being willing to play a character that curses, that's two different things. That's why I say it depends on what your boundaries are in your faith. I can love God all day long, but if I'm an actor, I understand that if I am playing a character that curses, I'm going to have to curse. Um, if I play a character that drinks, that doesn't mean I'm drinking in real life. That doesn't mean I'm really getting drunk, but that means that I've agreed to play a character that drinks. Um, if I agree to play a single mother, I mean, I may, it just depends on what your boundaries are. That's true. Tyler Perry's part of the black, right? Absolutely, he is. Yeah, yeah. So it's all about what, and I can't tell somebody what's comfortable for them when it comes to their faith. I can't tell you I can't tell you what works for your faith. You for your faith and where you are in your spirituality, you may not feel comfortable playing that role, you know so all right, y'all, let me get off of here. I'm gonna have to really figure this. I'm gonna have to call my computer guy tomorrow. I'm about to text him right now and see if he can come look at my computer. Because when I go to turn it, like it'll come right back on, but when I cut it back on, it's saying something. It's giving me an error message. But I don't want to click too many buttons because I might do something that I can't undo. But it's definitely it's telling me something is happening. Now, when my computer guy looks at it, he'll tell me, he'll let me know. He'll be honest and say, "Oh no, this is about to be out. Like this is your warning signal. This is about to die." Or he'll let me know, "Oh no, I can do A, B, and C, D, and all you got to do is bop, 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 bop." So he'll let me know. All right, y'all. Let me get up off of here. Well, I was gonna try to come back, but I don't think I'm gonna come back tonight. It's already 9:15. I'm gonna go watch the second episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville and see if I like it any better. If I like the second episode better than the first episode, then I guess I'll talk about it tomorrow. But all right, talk to y'all later. Peace.